All right, President Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is expected to be confirmed this week, despite fierce pushback from Senate conservatives over her lenient sentencing record. But Judge Jackson has secured at least 3 so-called Republicans voting for her: Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and Mitt Romney of Utah, who say they're concerned the confirmation process has become a partisan battle. Our next guest is one of the Senate conservatives who asked one of those pesky tough questions. Texas Senator and member of the Judiciary Committee, Ted Cruz. He joins us now. Senator, good to see you. I know these 3 Republican senators, Romney, Collins, and Murkowski, say they're concerned about this confirmation process and the partisan food fight it's become. I would recall the 3 GOP nominees that went up and the partisan food fight that existed on the other side. But I don't recall that being part of the process, right? We're supposed to judge them on their qualifications and their judicial philosophy. And so why has that now become the test?
Well, I think there's a dramatic difference between how Republicans conducted ourselves in this confirmation hearing versus the political circuses that Democrats put on with President Trump's nominees. We've seen Democrats on the Judiciary Committee smear nominees going back to Robert Bork, going back to Clarence Thomas, and we saw the disgraceful treatment Brett Kavanaugh received. All of them, the Democrats, smeared them with personal innuendos, with lies, with scurrilous attacks. The contrast here is night and day. The questions that we asked in this hearing focused entirely on Judge Jackson's record, her actual record as a sitting federal judge, her academic writings in law reviews, and the speeches she gave to law school. Now, the problem is that her record is extreme. It is far out of the mainstream. And in particular, her record on crime is extraordinarily lenient to violent criminals, to drug dealers, to terrorists, and in particular to sexual offenders, to those convicted of possession of or distribution of child pornography. Her sentencing is wildly out of the mainstream. To give you some specifics, Sean, Judge Jackson sentenced all criminals in her courts to, on average, 34% less prison time than the average federal judge across the country. When it comes to child pornography, she sentenced those guilty of possession of child pornography to, on average, 58% less than the average federal judge. And she sentenced those guilty and convicted of distribution of child pornography to, on average, 47% less than the average federal judge. This is extreme. It is a pattern of leniency towards the very worst offenders. And Democrats don't want to defend this on the merits. So instead, they simply scream and wail, it's not fair to ask a nominee about her actual record as a judge.
That's right.
And that's what the whole process should be about, Senator. I do want to switch gears with you. You are part of a group of Senate Republicans who spoke about the need to unleash American energy to help provide relief to Americans at the pump. Biden and the Democrats, they have blamed Putin and oil executives for high gas prices. Today, oil executives on Capitol Hill defended themselves, saying that gas prices are set at the global level, not by them. That didn't seem to convince Democrats, though. Do you think that Democrats genuinely believe that their green energy policies are not to blame for these high gas prices? And if they don't believe that, then how does the problem get fixed?
Yeah, look, I think they don't care. I think they're in political damage control mode. The day Joe Biden took the oath of office, gasoline was selling on average for $2.38 a gallon. Today, it is selling for $4.16 a gallon on average, and there are places where it is selling as expensive as $6.90 a gallon. It is a disaster, and this is not an accident. It's not an unintended side effect. It is the intended effect of what Joe Biden promised. He promised to shut down drilling on federal lands. He promised to go after the American oil and gas, the energy production in this country. And he delivered on this promise. On day one in office, he shut down the Keystone Pipeline. He suspended all new leases on federal lands, onshore and offshore. He stopped development in ANWR, the incredibly petroleum-rich, very small section of Alaska. All of this has had its intended effect. And, you know, it's amazing. The White House has had no less than 5 separate lies to explain the inflation that is ravaging our economy. Their first lie is they said it's not happening. Don't believe your lying eyes. Prices aren't going up. Their second lie, they said, well, OK, it's happening, but it's transitory. It's just for a brief moment. Their third lie, and this was the most bizarre one, is they said it's a high-class problem. I don't really know what that means, but that was lie number 3. Lie number 4 was, OK, it exists. It's not transitory. It's not high-class, but it's a good thing. It's a sign that the economy is doing great, that we have rampant inflation. And then lie number 5, and this is the one they like the best, is Putin, Putin, Putin. And every Democrat, from Joe Biden down to the dog catcher, is just repeating all the inflation, all the gas hikes are Putin's fault. Nobody buys this. And in fact, gas prices had risen 48% before Russia invaded Ukraine. This is Joe Biden's fault. Like the sticker on the gas pump says, he did this.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like they keep trying to figure. It's like throwing darts at the board. They're like, okay, let's figure out the shift it to figure out who's going to buy the next one. I want to shift gears though, because just today, your governor Greg Abbott announced that he's going to start filling buses with these migrants that are getting shipped over the border and send them up here to Washington D.C.
Yes.
I mean, do you think? I get why he's doing this. It sounds great because he wants to make it D.C.'s problem. But in all seriousness, do you think he's going to be able to pull this off?
So, look, I don't know. I hope so. He's announced that he's sending up to 900 charter buses. And I think releasing thousands upon thousands of illegal immigrants on the steps of the Capitol is the right thing to do. I'll tell you, I filed legislation last year, Sean, to make as points of entry for illegal immigrants places where rich Democrats go to wine and cheese parties, places like Martha's Vineyard, places like Nantucket, places like Greenwich, Connecticut, places like Palo Alto, California, places like Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. All of those I specified, all right, fine. If these out-of-touch liberals think it's great to have 2 million illegal immigrants coming into this country, let's drop them off in Martha's Vineyard and see how much they like it while they're sipping Chardonnay and partying at Barack Obama's 60th birthday party.
Senator, don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to ask you this last question. Last week, we spoke to Congressman Jim Jordan, who is calling for an independent counsel to investigate Hunter Biden. Obviously, that is heating up. We keep hearing these one-off calls from Republicans to do the same. But why isn't there a united front calling for an independent counsel from Republicans on Hunter Biden?
Well, listen, of course there should be an independent counsel. You look at this administration that desperately is trying to cover up the evidence of corruption. You look at the corporate media that engaged in a massive pattern of lying. When Hunter Biden's laptop became public right before the election, the corporate media lied about it. They said it's fake. They said it's Russian disinformation. Big tech censored the story. And we now know what we actually knew then, which is that that was all garbage, that the laptop is real, that the allegations of corruption within it are serious, and yet the corporate media and big tech desperately want nobody to know about them. And I got to say, it's very hard to have any confidence in the Biden Justice Department that this will be fairly investigated, because the Biden Justice Department has demonstrated that it will be partisan and it will use the machinery of justice to target their political enemies and protect their friends. And that corruption demands a special counsel who doesn't answer to Joe Biden and the Democratic National Committee.
I agree. Senator Ted Cruz, I appreciate you being here as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.